There's a lot that can be done. We often come across a scenario where clients contact us, and what comes through during these initial conversations is that our clients simply don't understand that simply being in your vehicle, whether you're asleep, can lead to you being arrested. And usually the offence that the police will use will be that you were in charge of a motor vehicle whilst over the prescribed alcohol limit. So what often happens is, let's use that scenario where you're asleep in your vehicle. The police officers would often knock on your window, and there'll be a conversation which takes place. Now, usually the officers will then breathalyse you if they suspect that you're under the influence. And at that point, they will arrest you and take you back to the police station. And in most cases, you'll be charged with being in charge of a motor vehicle. What can be done in that scenario? What defences are available to you? Well, the first defence that's available to you is that the prosecution must prove that you were in fact in charge of that motor vehicle. And that can be demonstrated by a number of different factors. So, for example, the engine was on, the mechanism of the particular vehicle was in use. That could simply be the radio was on, you were in the driver's seat. Now, all of these factors will be used to demonstrate that you were in charge of that vehicle. Now, please note that just because you were in charge of that particular vehicle does not necessarily mean that the prosecution will win their case and you will be disqualified. The second element of this particular offence is where the prosecution must prove that you had an intention to drive that vehicle. This is known as a statutory defence. So again, going back to that scenario, you're in your vehicle, the police knock on the window, they suspect alcohol, they arrest you, take you back to the police station, and subsequently you are charged. Now, for example, if you were simply asleep in the vehicle, you've had an argument with a partner, which often happens, and you were simply in the vehicle, but you had no intention to drive that vehicle any further, then you will have an absolute defence, and that defence will be a statutory defence that you had no intention to drive. Now, the statutory defence, we will need to evidence that you had no intention to drive, but it's fairly straightforward to do so, such as text messages, potentially if you've ordered a taxi, or other witness evidence which can be used to demonstrate that you had no intention to drive that vehicle at that time. Now, if you are in that scenario, please do contact us, and we will do everything that we can, use all our experience to help you defend this case. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more free legal content.